General Motors is introducing a new $15,000 pickup truck, and this will be one of the cheapest on the market. But we know what you're thinking. Will it be any good? Because we've also thought about it. But this truck is really different than what is on the market, especially compared to its main rival like the Maverick. Just the concept alone has been making a lot of buzz, and this truck is sure to make big waves in the industry. And honestly, things are changing. Why so cheap? $15,000 is so cheap for a truck, and you have to ask why before anything else. But if you think about it, it is kind of obvious. There is a growing demand for affordable cars, and it is not slowing down. We're seeing record inflation and all the prices are going up. It is very necessary that cars that actually help small businesses and families are available on the market. GM hasn't made anything like this for a while, and to be honest, no other company has either. But there have been so many changes since Mary Barra became CEO. She focuses on making their products more accessible, environmentally friendly, and electric. And now, she's taking on the huge challenge of producing a truck for only $15,000. We'll talk about their strategy later on in depth, but now let's actually see the details on this new truck. Capabilities. Barra has said that this truck will not compromise on features and quality. They have to be able to satisfy the demands of their target customers, which are reliability, power, and functionality. Otherwise, what'll be the point of it all? To do this, the Terra will be equipped with a 2.5-litre, 4-cylinder engine that is sure to be enough for everyday tasks. And it will not be capable of heavy-duty activity, but it will be perfect for urban dwellers and lightweight cargo transport. We don't expect this truck to be powerful, but it will be useful for small business owners and families that need a spacious and comfortable car that is still a bit more practical. There will be an infotainment system, and for those who want more, there will be a higher trim available that is a bit more luxurious. But how will they be able to do it? If we've learned anything from current market trend, it is that car prices are going up, and they eventually will have to fall down again. And this has already started. Not just on the old models, but big companies like Toyota have actually made their newer model flagship products cheaper. Just look at the Land Cruiser. It went down by almost $25,000. And all they had to do was give it a marketing gimmick and actually focus on making it good at one specific thing. That is the same strategy Ford used on the Maverick, which has been designed to be fuel efficient and lightweight, making it a very obvious choice for most people, especially in the urban market. And we wouldn't be surprised if General Motors took a lesson from their rivals. And if there is one thing we know about General Motors, it is that they are all on the sustainability movement. And what would be the most likely outcome for the Terra is that it would be very fuel efficient and designed to be very lightweight. And by doing this, Terra would be the obvious choice for most people. This will lead to high demand and a domino effect could start. But we talk about this later on in depth because we have to. And just imagine buying a $15,000 pickup truck and having to constantly pay a huge amount for gas. It just makes sense, and we've already seen this to be successful on the Ford Maverick. It's not a truck that is very capable, and it's not made for off-road use either. It just does what it's meant to do very well. But there is a grim reality we have to be aware of. Challenges. There are lots of things that it has to overcome. The first and most obvious one is that it has to be made within the budget, and we've already talked about how this could happen. But we also have to understand that often, cheap things are not made with good care, and this is just common sense. But let's say they actually manage to do it. There is still after-sales service that General Motors has to figure out. And after that, a truck with such a price will have a very high demand, and then they have to find a solution for that. Again, look at the Ford Maverick. Demand has been so high that the price has been high too, and you can't even get one even if you're willing to pay the high price. But the most challenging thing would be actually convincing the public that it's better to buy an unproven truck that's not been tested yet than a truck that we all know has been proven so many times and has been on the market without any problems. Would you buy a $15,000 truck or save a couple of months or even years and buy something like a Maverick or a Santa Cruz for just a little higher price? And it will even be hard to compete with used trucks like the Tacoma, which is known for being reliable. What would you honestly do? Plus, there'll be constant competition for GM if they actually prove that it will be successful for a truck like this in the US market. But this will make more sense when we first explain its impact on the market. Impact on the industry. The US truck market is very different when compared to the rest of the world. Most trucks are made here. The competition is so high, and often trucks are brought for the sake of social status. We're not saying that trucks are not used for work or other useful activities, but most of the price on the market is determined by how well the marketing has influenced the public, so that companies can actually sell the truck for more than the actual cost of the product. And that is why overseas companies like Toyota make specific models just for the US market. Around the world, Toyota sells one of their famous trucks, the Hilux. These trucks are very capable, durable, and reliable. Many people prefer them over other trucks, sometimes even over the Tacoma. And relatively, they are cheap. In Australia, they're sold for $20,000, which is cheaper than the Ford Maverick suggested price. Yet, they are more capable. But they're not available on the US market. Toyota mainly focuses on the Tacoma and Tundra. If General Motors actually becomes successful, then surely all other companies will be entering the US market with a different intention, and GM will have a much better chance at appealing to the rest of the world. Demand and availability. The world is waiting eagerly for more information from GM, and why wouldn't anyone be excited? This truck means a lot, and it will without a doubt revolutionize the whole industry. But with all this excitement and demand, the same old story could happen to it, just like the Maverick. The price will be high, and dealerships will be doing what they have been doing all along. There is just no way around it if they can't somehow find a solution. It is what happened to Ford, and it will likely happen again. The good thing is the timing. Car prices went up out of nowhere, and just like that, they'll go down. And this is not just a guess, it's happening right now. So GM will have an easier market, and it will be the perfect time for Terra. What should you expect? The reality is that we all know this is close to mission impossible, but yet we've seen so many other daring decisions. And it will actually be good for us, even if things don't go as planned. Just the hype alone, the actual demand, and all the talk on the internet will have a domino effect sooner or later. And if things go as planned, or even with a little complication, it's a step forward in giving us, the customers, what we actually want, and it could be a learning moment for everyone. Often, only luxurious and useless things are the ones that actually make headlines, and all the media attention goes to them. Making this video, and you interacting with it, just goes to show how much demand there is for a practical and functional truck. But what do you think? Is this possible, or thinking too much outside the box? But if they actually succeed, this will be the start of a new era. And we want to know, do you want this truck? Or do you want us to review another truck in the next video? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.